Hi, I'm Jeff, the 3D Puzzle Builder. This video is going to be on the ROKR Chocolate Factory Marble Run LGA02 3D puzzle. This is video 2 of a series of videos building the chocolate factory. This one is going to be out of the instruction manual. It's actually going to be the first part of the installation or build of the chocolate factory. This part pertains to building one of the tools that are necessary to actually have everything staged and sized just right for the project. So we're going to get started. What I have done is I have already pulled out the 2 panels of parts for the tool, and this is sheet C and sheet A. Now I've also pulled out one of the shafts as well as 2 of the stops in order to demonstrate the use of this tool. So if you take a look at your instructions, and this is actually on page 3 of the instruction booklet, under Tool Assembly Step, what we want is parts C11. And if you look just to the right of that, it says X2. That means there are 2 of these parts. So the C11, there will be 2 parts, and the C3, there will be 4 parts. Right below that is C12 with 2 C3s. So let's start with pulling out the 2 C11s. So I have got sheet C. As you can see, I've got sheet C. And I'm going to find C11 and C3. And they are somewhat in logical order. So C3 will actually be on the right-hand side of the sheet. And I said I needed 4 of these. So very carefully, I'm going to push these out. And be careful, because although these are a little thicker parts than other parts, they can break. All right, so there is, get over here, the first part. This is C3, and I need 4 of them. So there's 1, here's 2, here's 3, and 4. And I'm going to show you here real quickly. I'm going to try to do this backwards. So if I just take that and I push it, it'll separate, and I can pull it right out. So now I have 4 of those, and I'm going to need 2 C11s. So again, looking at my sheet, I'm going to find 2 C11s right here. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to push those out very carefully. There's 1. And there's 2. So now I have 2 of these, and I have 4 of these. All right, now taking a look at this, it shows C11 like this. The C3s push right into the hole. I can get my thumbs out of the way here. Now these parts do fit together very, very closely. That's what makes these puzzles where you can assemble these puzzles and not come apart. Okay, there it goes. So this is where you have to be very, very careful in pushing these parts together. Okay, so that just pushed through. Okay, we're going to take another one and do the same thing. And push it in. Now what we are building here right now is just a tool. This is not part of the 3D object. All right, so now I have one C11 and two C3s. And I'm going to do the same thing to the other one. Went right in. And went right in. Now there is a correct way to put these in. If you take a look at this, notice the orientation of the two fasteners. All right, now we need to pull out, we've got two of those. Now we need to pull out C12 and two more C3s. So I'm going to take a look at my plate here and I'm going to find C12. Well, C12, oops, happens to be right here. So I'm going to push out C12 and two more C3s. Now, if your plates tend to separate like this, not a problem. Just keep them as together as you can. And here are two more C3s right here. So again, I'm going to very carefully push those through with my thumb. All right, now they go into C12 just the same. Goes in. And goes in. All right, now that we've got those three items made, I've got two C11s and and one C12. The next part we need is the C13. All right, let's see if we can find C13 here. C20. Okay, here is C13, right here. Very carefully again, we're going to start on the edge and we're going to carefully push it through. So now we have C13. Now looking at the instructions, if we lay C13 with the numbers straight up, C11, the two C11s and the C13 go in the middle. Excuse me, the two C11s and the C12. Okay, the C12 goes directly in the middle. So we take the C12 and we're on the bottom side, not the side with the numbers, but the bottom side. That feeds right into there. And again, very carefully, we're going to push them together. So now they're together. We have no separation. Our numbers are showing on the top. Now we do the same thing with our two C11s. C11 there and C11 there. So C11 is going to go right here and push it in till it sits flat. The other C11, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So there we go. Now we have the C12, the two C11s, and the C13. That is the tool that we're going to be using. Now, this now becomes part A. If you're following along in your instruction book, this becomes part A. Now, to demonstrate what this tool is used for, this tool is used to set distances on these little bitty shafts. Now this shaft is listed as a P item. If you look at your parts list on the previous page, it will be listed as a P item. It came in a little package with some springs, some other sized shafts, and some screws. So very carefully take this out of the package. Make sure you don't lose any of these parts, because if you lose them, you can get them replaced, but it takes time. So be very careful with it. In my case, I keep a little saucer. My wife doesn't know I have it. I keep a little saucer handy where that won't roll off the table. This is also going to require two P1s. Now, if you look in on your parts list, P1 is a package, and it's kind of hard to see, there we go, of little stops that go on the shafts. So, recommendation here, take a pair of scissors and just clip the end of that package where you can scoot one of those. You can't quite see it, and it went right back down there. I've got fat fingers today. There are spares of these, but try to be careful with them. This one's laying right there, and I just can't get it without hitting the camera. Okay, there we go. Over here to my camera. All right, it's kind of hard to see, but there it is there. And I'm going to stick that on my little plate. And I'm going to get another one out. And there's another one. All right. Now in the instructions under demonstration, that's what we're going to be doing now. So the demonstration is saying to take one of these and put it in the 10 millimeter slot. So if you look at the tool here, you'll see something that says 10 right there. That's 10 millimeters. And right there is where this is going to go. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it in that slot. Now what I'm going to do is take my shaft and force it into that stop. Now this is a little difficult to do because it is a tight fit. It has to be a tight fit. So you may want to find something to help you push that in with until it goes all the way through and stops. Now, I stopped it a little bit short there. Still has a little ways to go. So now I'm going to take it and I'm going to push it all the way. Now see if I can hold this up there where it doesn't fall out. So my stop is right there. My shaft is pushed all the way through to where there are 10 millimeters of length sticking through. Now the next one says to take another P1 little stop, but this one put in the 3 millimeter slot. And let me find the 3 millimeter slot. It is right here. So that goes right there in that 3 millimeter slot. Now my shaft, I'm going to push that into the 3 millimeter stop. And again, I might need something to help push that through. There we go. Push it all the way through until, I can hold this, until that shaft hits the end. Now this shaft has got my stops in exactly the right place for whatever part this was going to go on. This is primarily a demonstration though, just to show you how this tool works. Now there is, and I was using a piece of metal strap there to help me push it. There is a tool, and it is C9. C9 is right here that I can use to assist in doing that. So I'm going to push out C9 very carefully. There's not a lot of problem with breaking parts this thickness, but others there are. So now this tool has got measurements on it. It's got distances on it. Matter of fact, if you look right here, that one says 3 millimeters. Now, if I take my shaft, I can verify that that is 3 millimeters. Okay, so another tool that we'll be using, and this is C9 on sheet C. All right, there are a couple of things that I didn't mention. When we get started in the rest of the build, sometimes when we pull things out, they'll have little areas like this right here called nibs. That's where the wood is still put together. When we start putting some of the other parts together, not necessarily these tools, but some of the other parts together, we're going to take our sandpaper or emery cloth and we're going to burnish those off. So, but that'll come in the next video. All right, so that's all for this particular part on the Chocolate Factory Marble Run LGA02. The first actual part of the build, which basically was just the tool assembly. So when we come back in, or in the next video, look for Chocolate Factory, a ROKR Chocolate Factory, Marble Run LGA02, Step 1. And then we'll go through step 1, we'll go through step 2, step 3, step 4, and we will build it bit at a time, instruction at a time. I thank you very much. I would appreciate it if you would like my channel, follow my channel, and pass it on. This is a lot of fun. I have enjoyed putting together several ROKR puzzles. You can see 3 of them behind me back there. The piano, the projector, as well as the airport tower with airplanes. It all moves. It's all very, very nice. It's fun to do. It's fun to watch. It's fun to put them together. So, looking forward to seeing you next time. Again, this is Jeff. I am the 3D puzzle builder. Goodbye.